guys, it's Coach Ro from RocioFlores.com, and today's topic is, can I be fat and healthy? So before I start, I want to make sure that I say that I don't think using the word fat is the best word out there. First of all, it's not really descriptive. It doesn't really tell you what it means. And a lot of people use it as an insult, so it's not very nice. But whether or not you like to use the word and you like to, use it to describe yourself or not, I think it's best to think about, first of all, what does it mean to be fat and what does it mean to be healthy, and can the two exist at the same time? So before we get into healthy, let me go into what fat means. So for the most part, most people, what they mean is that you're overweight. But even that term, what does that mean? It's different for everyone. So first of all, you determine if you're overweight based on the amount of fat that you have on your body, and that can be different for everybody. So for the most part, your body needs fat. So anybody who tries to tell you that you shouldn't have any fat is wrong. There's actually a lot of adverse effects that can happen if your body fat goes to too low of a number. For women, for example, if your body fat goes into really low levels, it can actually disrupt your menstrual cycle. It can disrupt your reproduction. So you might have a hard time getting pregnant, which is, the opposite of what some people want. And so you could be really, really skinny and struggle with getting pregnant. And you could be really overweight and struggle with getting pregnant. So in either case, it's not really a matter of whether or not you're overweight. So when it comes to determining those numbers, you have to think of two terms. One is essential fat. So your body's going to need fat in it. And for men, that's about 3 to 5% body fat that's considered essential. And for women, it's 10 to 13%. So women will always have more fat than men. Kind of sucks, but that's life. And so that's about the amount that we need just for our body to do what it needs to do. So that's like the bare minimum that you should have on you to live. You need to have way more than that to actually thrive. And so there's an actual magic zone. For men, it's about 15 to 20%. For women, it's about 20 to 25%. And that's a really good zone where you're pretty healthy. You don't have too much body fat. You don't have too little body fat that it starts to affect you in negative ways. And it's where most people will look good, or at least, what society tells us looks good. You can have slightly lower numbers for people who are athletic or fit, but those numbers are really hard to maintain unless you're actually actively working out like a lot. And numbers that are slightly higher are okay, because for a lot of people that's more of a maintainable level. So somebody who may be around, just 20, like 2-3 more percent than the magic zone, but they may be able to maintain that number a lot easier, and so it's going to be the best number for them. You are considered overweight when you hit around that 25% for men and 32% for females. So that's a little bit higher end, but even at that point, is it unhealthy? So one of the things that you want to think about is, what does health mean? So when it comes to health, there's a whole lot of different things that you need to look at, because how much fat you have in your body is not the only determinant. First of all, there are other numbers to look at, like your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your blood sugar levels, and there's also your diet. Are you eating a balanced diet? Are you getting in a good amount of protein, carbohydrates, good healthy fats, vitamins and minerals every day? Are you getting in a good amount of water every day? Because there's people who are really skinny, but they're not eating healthy. They're not getting vitamins. They're not getting enough minerals. They struggle with sleeping. They struggle with mental health. They struggle with a lot of other health factors. And that's because they're not getting what their body needs in order to function properly. So they may be small, but that doesn't mean that they're healthy. Even though for people who are a little bit overweight, it also depends what kind of fat you have on your body and where it's placed. So there's two different kinds of fatty tissue that accumulates in your body. One's called visceral fat, and the other one's called subcutaneous fat. And so subcutaneous fat is the fat that falls on top of your muscles, and like I got a ton of it. But that's the kind of fat that it's just a cushion on the outside. And usually with losing weight, it's what you see coming off. But it's not the unhealthy fat. So it's not the kind of fat that hurts you long term. Visceral fat, on the other hand, is under your muscles and it's on your organs. And so somebody can lose a ton of weight and it happens to a lot of people, sadly. You can lose a ton of weight and still have a lot of visceral fat attached to your organs, meaning that there's still pressure being put on your organs, which isn't healthy for you. This happens a lot with people who lose weight in unhealthy ways. So, for example, if you do the ketogenic diet in the incorrect manner, this can happen. If you do certain diets out there where the emphasis is placed on just calories and not macronutrients or vitamins and minerals. And so, you can eat under your calorie amounts and still eat hot Cheetos and Coke for every meal. I know, I've tried. So, if you're doing that, your body, you start to lose muscle and you lose a lot of water. You may lose a lot of the fat that's on the outside, but your body's not going to be releasing any of that hard to get fat that's on your organs, and it's going to be affecting you negatively anyways. This is called being skinny fat. So you got people, you're like, damn, they look great. How did they do it? But that doesn't mean they're healthy. Some of the other things that you want to think about when it comes to health also have to do with inflammation and chronic disease. So there are people who their body reacts better, and it has to do a lot, like, for example, when I said that some people maintain better at higher amounts of fat in their body, if they're also dealing with other diseases, that may actually help them. So some people have issues with their immune system, some issues with other health problems that require them to carry a little more weight in order for them to have a little more energy, to be able to, just do the things that they need to do to keep living their life. On the other hand, there's some people who need to be at a much smaller weight in order for inflammation not to affect them as much. And again, it really comes down to each individual person. Some of the other things that you want to take into consideration are how much activity you have on a daily basis. I do a ton of sitting because I'm at a desk all day. So I know that I am not healthier than some people who are way bigger than I am. And that's because they're way more active. So they're getting a lot more benefits from their exercise than I'm getting being smaller by sitting and just spending all day sitting. So the World Health Organization does recommend that we all get 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise every week. And just being active in general, people who work standing up or who do more physical labor, even if it's not really, really hard labor, their body is being worked out. So you're creating, you're tearing your muscles and creating new muscle. You're working your cardiovascular system. You're making more use of your body, and studies have shown that you will more than likely actually have a higher chance of living longer and fighting off disease better than somebody who may be smaller but doesn't do any kind of exercise. So it's kind of a difficult question whether or not it's if you can be fat and healthy. By all means, you can be. You could definitely be overweight and maybe not fall into what society says is skinny or whatever, and be way healthier than other people. There is I wish I had her picture around here. There's a celebrity on like one of the Instagram people who's actually really awesome, and she's an overweight person, but she can do yoga like no other. She like stands on her head and does all those crazy things that I can't do, and she's great body positive role model, but also a health model. So she doesn't have to be stick thin in order to show people that you can be healthy. Well, there are a lot of other factors that relate to people who are really thin, but they're not healthy at all. So if you're doing drugs, if you're smoking, if you have a high intake of carcinogens into your body, so like if you eat a lot of processed meats, if you don't get any vegetables, if you don't get any vitamins, nutrients, or things like that, if you eat a lot of things that you're not supposed to be getting into your body, so like people who have allergies or sensitivities, all of those things are going to affect your health. And so somebody who's thin could be on the verge of getting cancer and dying, and somebody who's overweight may be perfectly healthy and all their numbers may be intact. So it varies. Every single person's different, but it is not impossible to be overweight and still be healthy. So when it comes to you and your own personal decisions, it really does come down to you and your health goals. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to be at a certain number or that you need to be at a certain shape. You take a look at what's best for your body and what's going to be best for your health goals long term, and what you're going to be able to maintain in your life, the habits that you're actually going to be able to do and take care of. Because yes, you can completely change up your lifestyle for 3 months, lose a ton of weight, and then, you know, go right back to the bad habits as soon as you're done, and then, you know, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's sadly the reality for the majority of Americans. So let's try to change that and think about our health and our weight in a very different manner. So let's focus on being more healthy than, you know, being skinny. So I really hope that you like this video. I hope that it helps you understand, you know, what it means to be healthy. And I hope that if you do like this video, you can please like it and share it. And share it with anybody that you know for sure is struggling with this. Or with anybody who may be kind of bullying others because of this. I really hope that it helps you. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.